Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you might be listening to this one. This is our Fire FC Parent Summit, a Fire from Within. It's where I share all the details on what Fire FC has been doing, is currently doing, and what you can look forward to Fire FC doing come the fall of 2024, based on this meeting being shared in June 2024. So first and foremost, we're going to start with our recreational families. If you are a competitive parent, you can fast forward to that space that you can see in the bottom timeline of this YouTube video. Just kind of fast forward to that competitive spot, and that'll bypass this recreational information for you. So if you're that rec parent, let's get started. Looking back at spring 2024, let's see what we've done. But first, I want us to start with how to save money, because costs add up. I understand that. We understand that as a club. So just understand that you do have opportunities to discount your fees, one of them which is by reffing. So if that is something that you want to look into and get some questions answered or get some concerns answered before you start that trail of and that pathway for yourself, Chris Day is the person to get a hold of. His email is right there. And he facilitates in-house referee coach education for those that pursue that pathway. You can also volunteer. You can give your time up to get some discounted fees in return. All of those opportunities noted below are what we have going on throughout the year. We just got done with tryouts, obviously. We just got done with our GMIT earlier last month. And now your next opportunity would then be our golf tournament in July. Again, I just made a mention of it. Just understand and know we do have in-house education for our referees. So if that is something that you or a family member want to entertain, know that that resource is there for you to pursue. So let's look back at spring 2024. What did we do? We brought in a rec coordinator, Brianna Gumpert. If you're like, well, isn't your name Nick Gumpert? Yes, that's my wife. She was brought in to be a rec coordinator. She has much experience in dealing with youth organizations and helping facilitate and be a point person for those that are part of certain organizations. And this is a big one for us. So we wanted to put a person with that experience and with that ability to not just be a point person, but also bring in other individuals. Because as you can see there, we had multiple pods with volunteers to, again, help facilitate questions or concerns that came up during rec weekends. So we have her as a rec coordinator. We also put signage and new signage out there for you guys to just know that there's resources out there, and to make different pods more identifiable and easily identifiable, because all of us and so many people bring our shade with us on those rec weekends. So we have some signage to go along with it. Rec tourney, we had this in April. It was a very good inaugural rec tourney. To have it for the first time, we hosted over 50 teams. Fair to assume we are going to be looking to bring that back for sure next spring 2025. We'll see what the fall 2024 holds on whether or not we have a rec tournament in that time frame. Level up options. Know that this is supplemental. It's something to do in addition to your rec opportunities if your kid wants it. So it starts as young as age 5. They just train once a week, as does 7-8 PDP. Only at 9 and 10, if a team and a coach want to say, you know what, this group, I've had them for 2, 3, 5 years. They've outgrown me. That's where we can step in with licensed coaches to then take on that team. If you're just like, Nick, my kid wants that, but their team, his or her team doesn't, is there an option? Yes. And that's where, again, Level Up can help supplement those training environments for your son and or daughter. We also have in-house coaching education opportunities. So yes, we also host a relatively brief meeting for rec coaches going into each the fall and spring seasons respectively. Just understand we do have competitive coaching in-house education opportunities monthly, and rec coaches are more than welcome to be a part of those discussions and those situations if they so choose. So again, just want to be transparent and let you know if you're that coach that wants a little bit more and you want to grow, we have those opportunities certainly for you to pursue that. Where we are currently moving into the summer, we don't have a ton of programs going on for our rec families. The primary reason being it's recreational. And so many kids and families want that time off to explore other sports, other activities, take trips, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, I did make note of a couple of opportunities that are in place currently. So maybe your son or daughter are 9 or 10 years old. There is a level up summer opportunity for that age group. We also do next level summer sessions. This is now getting into the competitive realm, but again, just wanted to plant the seed. So you say, what does the next level look like? What does the next commitment potentially look like? Or what do the next opportunities look like if my son or daughter really want to pursue this game of soccer? And then we also have finishing clinic. Again, those are for competitive ages, meaning U11 and older. So those are things that we are currently doing as a club as we're shifting into these summer months. Where we are currently from a communication standpoint as a club. If you didn't know, we have a website. Maybe you just moved into town. Maybe your son or daughter are just exploring the sport for the first time and this was your first season. gjsoccer.org is that website for you. We also have social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I also created playlists within our YouTube website for you as a parent to just see what pertains to me. Selfishly, I don't want to see everything. I wanted to see just the parent stuff. I've created that playlist for you. Maybe you're that parent coach at the rec level and you're like, I want more coaching resources. What do you got? I created a playlist for you, and that shares all of the content via video that I can possibly share with you at this time. So just know these resources are there for you, and because they live where they live, specifically on YouTube, you can watch them on your own time, at your own leisure, morning, night, whatever, right? I'll leave it to you there. Know that we have a monthly newsletter. This goes out via email. I then reshare it via social media platforms. So there's really no reason to not know what's going on. I then host parent summits exactly like this twice a year, once in the May or June timeframe, and then once again about late fall, in around November, just to keep people updated on what's going on with Fire FC. And there's the email, gjsoccerinfo@gmail.com, if you or someone you know has questions pertaining to what's going on. I have concerns about this. I have some questions. Hey, I have a friend that just moved into Palisade. What can I tell them? Right? Know that email is out there for you or anyone you know to help share some clarity. Let's now fast forward and look into the fall of 2024. But before we get to the fall, let's revisit this summer. Your next volunteer opportunity, if you so choose, and if you want those fees discounted in some shape or form, is going to be our golf tournament. But maybe if you don't want to discount fees, did you know this golf tournament is a fundraiser to help allocate funds for kids and to kids and families who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford to play this game of soccer in the Grand Valley? So maybe you're an owner of a small business. Maybe you know somebody who's an owner of a small business and wants to find another way to give back to our community. This is a brilliant opportunity for you or them to do so. Just email Ryan, our general manager. There's his email. If you want to get a foursome, right, for the golf tournament, brilliant. Email Ryan. But that is going to be July 28th. It's at Adobe Creek. Breakfast is going to be served there. Lunch is going to be served there. That's built within your ticket price, by the way, not in addition to. So it's a pretty sweet golf tournament in terms of giving some amenities that not all golf tournaments do. Also made it a bullet point of rec weekends and tryouts in November, just because those are additional volunteer opportunities if you are that person that's looking to get help when it comes to the financial challenges that come with your kids playing sports. Content. We love celebrating your wins. I help run the social media for Fire FC. So again, use that email, gjsoccerinfo@gmail.com. I am happy to share the wins, not just on the field, but also off the field. Maybe your son or daughter had an accomplishment within the school setting. We'd love to share that. Maybe it's playing another sport and they crushed it. We'd love to share that. So if you're good with sharing it, we're good with sharing it, and wanted to make sure that's clear, because this is by no means a club that we just share stuff only for our competitive families and players. I think that is all I have for you, rec families. We're now going to shift into our competitive families. So rec parents, thank you for taking the time to stay educated and updated on what we have to offer you. Take care. See you on the field. Competitive families at Fire FC, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you may be listening to this one. I'm Nick Gumpert. I'm the club education coordinator, and this is our parent summit for, what are we in, June 2024. Let's first look back at spring 2024, but before we even look back at that, I want to share with you ways that you can save money. You can save money by becoming a referee. Chris Day's contact is right there for you. Easy person to get a hold of, and know that we do have in-house referee opportunities to educate and get informed if you choose to pursue that pathway. We also have opportunities for you to volunteer. There I spelled out all of those situations and when they take place. So feel free to reach out to our general manager, Ryan Ayrton, at rpar92@gmail.com if that is something that you feel like I need those discounted fees because I got 3 kids playing in this club and there's way too much money. We can help you if you're willing to volunteer that time. We can help you from the funding standpoint when it comes to those registrations. Already alluded to this one, but I'll just state it again since it popped up. We do have in-house education for those looking to pursue referee opportunities to get discounted registration fees. So let's take a snapshot of that spring 2024. Level up. This is our bridge between recreation and competitive. So maybe you're that parent that says, I got one 12-year-old and one 8-year-old. Level up is that sweet spot. So if your kid is eating it up at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, Level Up is certainly the program that you want to get them involved in, formerly known as PDP, Player Development Program. It has now been rebranded as our Level Up program. Showcase events in Phoenix. We had a number of high school teams not just attend a showcase there in Phoenix, but perform very, very well, and again, across multiple age groups. So that was awesome to see here at Fire FC, to see that representation out of state. We had a college ID event, I believe not in February, but it was that first weekend of March, if I remember correctly. Great turnout for both. We had the boys on one day, we had the girls on another day. We had representation from NAIA, D3, D2, junior college. I don't think we were able to tap into that D1. Nonetheless, we're connected at all levels. So that was a great opportunity for players and parents to hear from coaches coaching at those various levels to say, what are the ins and outs, what are the advantages and disadvantages, as well as we brought in some Fire FC alum that played at various levels as well, and were able to share their personal stories with prospective college players that play with us here at Fire FC. So that was an awesome event that took place this last spring. Sports Psych, that is a space that I help facilitate for the club. Our last one was in April. You can see that and catch that on YouTube if you missed it or if you want to rewatch it, as well as prior Sports Psych sessions that I've recorded for you. Our next one will be this month. I'll be releasing that in YouTube. I know a lot of families are going out of town and just are stretched with school just getting out, so I'm going to record that one and just share it via YouTube so you and your son or daughter can watch it on your own accord. And I think a brilliant opportunity that does is it creates a talking point for you as a parent, right? And it helps facilitate a discussion to, again, build this skill set with their mental capacity as a young athlete. Know that we have in-house coaching education. Just like we expect and really challenge your son or daughter to get better, I help facilitate opportunities to make sure your coaches get better. I do that in tandem with Matt Leach and Danny Molyneux, and we come up with monthly content for coaches to meet, to chat, to talk through in small groups, individually. We mix and match those to keep those wheels turning and make sure we're living up to our end of the bargain as coaches and not just ask that from your son or daughter. So just wanted to make sure you knew that and that coaches at Fire FC are definitely not just coasting to say, I'll rest on my laurels until someone tells me otherwise. Where we are today for Fire FC and what are we doing moving into these summer months. Evals for players and parents. I really hope you took the time and your son or daughter took the time to give us that evaluation. Number one, they're anonymous, so we don't even know who they came from. But number two, it just allows us to get better as an organization to help better serve you at the end of the day. So hopefully you took the time to do that. Coach Gabriel is having to move on. Unfortunately, he's moving back to Brazil. We're definitely going to miss him. That's a big void that is going to be created. Nonetheless, it creates an opportunity for somebody else, right? And that's just the reality of life. So all the best to Coach Gabriel, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to continue to serve and coach and still help educate your young ones on the soccer field. Summer training options for players. Go to gjsoccer.org. You may be behind the 8 ball if this is the first time you're hearing about summer programs, but we'll spell them out here quickly. U9 and U10 level up. level up. We have an opportunity if you have a son or daughter in those ages. I just don't know if it's filled up by the time you're listening to this. Call the office 242-4550 Tuesday through Friday from the hours of 9 to 2, and they'll be able to tell you if that program is full or not. Next Level Summer Sessions. This is a brilliant program. It's a new program that helps develop the holistic player better than I feel like the club has been able to in the past. It's going to help build the skill sets, not just of the technical, but of the physical and the mental. I think that's a very well-rounded program. Excited to see how this one goes here this summer, and hopefully your son or daughter are taking advantage of that one. Finishing clinic, that's primarily been a winter session and program. We're now bringing that into the summer because it sells out. And we feel like, you know what? Kids are never bored with scoring goals and finding different techniques and having the opportunity to have the freedom to try different techniques when it comes to finishing in that final third. High school position specific training, another new program. Love to see how this one turns out for you high school players or you parents that have high schoolers out there. It puts these kids in a position specific environment where now they're getting taught specific facets of defenders primarily, right? I feel like you have the finishing clinic, and so often we push that technical piece on players. And I think this position specific training will really foster not just the holistic player, but be able to balance both sides of it, right? What about if your son or daughter is a center midfielder, but they're more of a defensive center midfielder? This training, I think, can better suit those players and the development of their toolkit as a player. We have our 7v7 indoor, and we have our kickoff camp come the end of July. So have quite a few things going on for our competitive families and players out there. Make sure you stay up to date. Again, call the office 242-4550 if you have questions pertaining to programming. Where we are, club communication, we have our website, gjsoccer.org. We have social media being Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I've also created playlists within our YouTube channel for you as a parent to just get the most pertinent info for you as a parent. And you can watch it on your own time, when and where you want. So just know that resource is there for you, as well as our monthly newsletter. We release this out, hence monthly. So hopefully you're staying updated by choice, not just by chance, because we give you that opportunity to do so. We have parent summits, this exact thing, 2 times a year. I help facilitate them as the club education coordinator, just to, again, be transparent as to what the club is doing currently, has done recently in the past, and is going to do in the near future. There's our club email if you have questions or concerns about what the club is doing or anything pertaining to your personal situation. Let's look now forward into the fall 2024, but pump the brakes real quick. We're going to stop there before we get to the fall. We deal with the summer. The golf tournament. If this is a space that you're an owner of a small business or know someone that is, this is a brilliant opportunity to give back to a cause, being this helps afford opportunities for kids that wouldn't otherwise be able to play the game of soccer here at Fire FC, the opportunity to do so. So again, if you're that small business owner or know someone that is, that just checks that box because that's just their sweet space they want to give back to, this is the place and time to do it. Reach out to our general manager, Ryan Arrington. His email is right there, and he'd be happy to have that conversation with you or that person you know. Maybe you just like playing golf and you don't want to sponsor, and you want to get that foursome, or you don't even have a foursome, you just want to play. Reach out to Ryan. He can get you hooked up for that golf tournament. And just know that that is also an opportunity for you to volunteer at. If you want those discounted registration fees, you have no desire of playing golf, but you are willing to be that volunteer at a hole to oversee the hole-in-one. Did it happen or not? And you can just chill out there for 6, 7-ish hours and put your time in for a little bit of discounted fees. Again, reach out to Ryan if that interests you. We also have rec weekends. Our rec coordinator, Brianna Gumpert, needs parents to help facilitate information, ultimately, during recreational weekends. So there's 7 of them in total, I believe, 7 in the fall, 7 in the spring. So if you would like to volunteer at those, feel free, again, to reach out to Ryan. And then we'll have tryouts for our high school boys, another opportunity to volunteer if that is something you're interested in. JPL, hot topic, I know, for Fire FC. For those of you playing U13 and up, So that entails all of our teams playing 11-a-side. It is only for our premier teams. We've created a video that breaks down what is JPL, what does it stand for, why would UPS or why would Fire FC even be a part of it, and what does it cost? All of these things are answered in that YouTube video. So we've taken the time to create that resource for you. You can find that easily on our YouTube channel. So make sure you take the time to check that one out. Again, do it when and where you choose. Fire FC fee structure. I know Sean sent this out. You probably have already heard about this in your team meeting if you haven't had it already, but fees have changed. Just make sure you stay updated so you're not, I don't know, hearing it from somebody else, just like, wait, is that the whole story? Is that all the story? Is that some of the story? Make sure you connect with your coach. Reach out to that gjsoccerinfo@gmail.com if you have questions. Again, we're here to help you make sense of everything, or as much as we possibly can, I should say. Last but not least, want to finish with content. We love celebrating your wins. So maybe your son or daughter are a multi-sport athlete and they're just crushing it in their other sport. If you want to share that story with us, we're happy to share that with our community. If they're crushing it in the classroom and they just got some accolade and were recognized, if you want to share that with us, we'll be happy to share it with our community as well. So just know the content is not exclusive, it's very inclusive. And just wanted to make sure you knew that as a parent here at Fire FC. So I've shared that email quite a few times, so I won't share it again. So thank you for taking the time to check in for this time of year's Parent Summit here at Fire FC, and hopefully we'll see you on the field here soon.